Our biggest event yet is coming. This is so much bigger than the other events we've discussed before, and everything is a moving target based on our choices. And we have made some choices that are bringing us to the biggest event. This is going to happen within the next 2 years. 2024 is going to be a big shift. This is going to affect so many of you. But I want you to hear this message, because within it you can make a choice now as to what's going to happen between here and 2024 and beyond. This is really important. I think you're going to really love what I have to say today. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Break through fear. I teach people how to deal with the chatter in the head, the emotions. When we go into that space, it's ego. We're learning what that is, and we're rising above it. What is the biggest event yet? By the way, this is probably, I'd say, the biggest event on our planet in its history. Why? Because we have been dense beings, destroying one another and our planet, really working from ego, being the ego, and separating ourselves. We have come into a state of being right now where we're understanding that we're so much bigger, so much more, and so much more powerful, and that we can actually create and change our reality. We're coming out of the control matrix mind, where we believe that we are in a prison planet, and knowing that we're actually creating the matrix and the illusion ourselves, and that we are so powerful that that matrix, that illusion, that story can be whatever we want it to. And as a collective, we're actually choosing something really powerful right now. What is the biggest event? I call it the changing of the guards. The changing of the guards. Well, we know what that means. If you're in the UK, you certainly know what that means. It means there's a whole regime that's going to shift. It is the old thinking, the ego, the separate, the protecting myself, the power separation, and a new regime. This really is happening. A new regime is shifting into the new world of caring about others, service to others. Still going to be a lot of egos in there, but I want you to know something. It's already been happening. We've talked about this shift. We're in it. We've been in it for a while, but it's getting more and more powerful, because the more of you that make a decision to stop believing this out there, stop reacting to it, blaming it, and then sitting there arguing about it, are now taking action and creating a different world. Changing of the guards means all of these people who are pretty old have never known anything but that ego-based way of living, of just working hard and surviving and getting as much as you can and protecting you and your family. This separatism that has pulled us away from what we were at one point, tribes and communities. And now we're going beyond that even. We're tapping into our quantum powers that we never lost. We're removing the veils and saying we can live any life we want to within this illusion we've created. We can play any role we want to. A changing of the guards means that that old way of thinking is dissolving. It's going away. You're going to see it take a step back, because now there is a whole movement of people who are going into the space that care about our planet, one another, and how we treat absolutely everything. How we treat ourselves, our thoughts, our beliefs. We're on it, and we are making huge changes on the planet. So every foundation, everything that's been put into place, from what we eat, how we treat our plants, how we process that food, how we treat animals, how everything is treated, is all shifting, because that mindset that was in that old low frequency state of mind, state of control, that presented to other people that this is how it should be and you should listen to me. The others are now saying, it hasn't worked, it's not working, and this is going away, because no one in this higher frequency wants to participate in it. So we are becoming solution makers, change makers. Now I have to tell you something. If you guys haven't been in this, email that I sent out. I sent out an email on how people can create their own retreats, homesteads, go off grid, own property, even if they don't have money. There's so many options for you right now to change your life that don't include the old style, the old guard way of doing things where you have to be wealthy and control others to protect yourself, to be happy. None of that made anybody happy. It's been a constant struggle. We're learning that, we know it, and now we're realizing the happiness comes from another place. And then from there, abundance, health, all these things are going to flow because we are going to now behave. Our actions behind that are going to be of respect to our bodies, others, our planet, and it shifts completely. Our future is shifting. So this is why we've talked about Nostradamus, we've talked about Edgar Cayce, we've talked about all the predictions and how they don't have to come to pass. Now the planet Earth, she's going to shift and change, countries and islands, continents come and go. We're part of that. So don't focus on that and concern yourself about it because you're here and you are indestructible. You are infinity. And you are the power of the universe that is so perfect and beautiful. And you have the ability to create any life you desire. But you have to know it. And you have to seek and ye shall find. And I hear asking is given all the time. But my motto is give and you receive. So whatever you're giving, you're putting out there. You will participate in that shift. So if you hang on to the old guard and you're arguing and getting, right and wrong, and our party and your party is wrong, and all these things that separate us. It's the old way of thinking that didn't know any better and didn't make the changes, because they can make changes too. It's going away. The new foundations coming in are going to restructure everything in our society globally. Because the more power we have as a caring community that desires to live that peaceful life where there's no more struggle about me and getting anxiety and fear about the future, there won't be a future to fear. We're going to create it. Changing of the guards. 2024 is probably going to be the biggest shift. And I call it the tipping points. We have tipping points where it's an accumulation of people making choices. And up in this point, making different choices. Now, we talked about DNA activation, right? What does that mean? This is an actual fact. Our DNA is changing. Why? Because we're changing. And we are energy. So that energy is shifting our DNA. It's evolving into something higher and more powerful. And so if you look at DNA, it actually emits light. Your whole body, everything in it emits light. We're electrical energy fields. And so we have power beyond our imagination. We're going to explore that more between now and when we start to really shift. You're going to see some things that are going to go away that we thought we couldn't do without, and things that are going to come in that are going to blow it away, that are going to be so amazing. From our power to our food, to how we live, to how we treat each other, to our health, all of it. And it's going to happen in your lifetime, because if you're making higher choices and you stop focusing on those old discussions and old arguments, and even going into your family and not getting along with them because they don't understand you because you're spiritual, that's still separation. We have to go up above this. It's your time to do this. You've got time to do this. Now, there's no such thing as time, but we have linear time that allows us to work through things and learn. And I want you to know right now, if you're in an awakened state, you find fault in nothing. You are part of the play, playing a role, and you can be the hero anytime you want to be. You can shift your personality and your role anytime you desire. So, are you at odds with anybody? It's not them, it's you. If they're at odds with you, it's them. If you're at odds with them, it's you. In other words, if you're in conflict with anything or anyone, it's you doing it. Because you can't be in conflict with anyone unless you choose it. So when we end conflict, we end the negativity and the density of the old guard, right? That's always in conflict. It always is. It doesn't speak for the people. None of it speaks for the people. We are the people. And we all have individual choice. And when we respect others' individual choices, instead of having to have, we're no different than the old guard. If my way has to be your way, and how I think and what I believe has to be your beliefs. we have to let that go and say the beauty of our planet and being humans is that we do have different ideas and talents and skills, and when we're at a high frequency, we pull those together and we celebrate that. Does this sound like woo-woo? If you think so. So my question is, which world would you rather live in? The reality where, okay, things are bad and, we're going to, what, in a handbasket? Is that what you want to live in? Then you can live in that. If you think this is woo-woo of this positive thinking, I'll tell you, it's science. And quantum physics will prove that thoughts are things and they change the results of actual experiments depending on not just the experiment itself, but the thoughts and the beliefs of the experimentors affect the results. That is quantum physics. That is the power you hold. It's not woo-woo. It's real stuff, and you can shift anything in your life, and answers will come to you. You got to step back and get out of fear. All right? Are you ready for the biggest event ever? And that will include a lot of different things. It's not just one thing happening. It is the shift, the biggest shift ever, which includes the power structures that have never really worked in the public's favor. It never really has. It's always been self-serving. There's always stuff going on that has never been really good for anybody, including the financial markets. I know, I was a former investment banker, and I'm going to tell you right now, it never worked in the favor of the public unless it served the few. All right? I want you to know that we are in for something amazing and beautiful, and thank you for raising your frequency and getting out of the blame, the separation. You got to get out of it, the judgment, get out of it if you want to participate in this big shift. Otherwise, you're going to feel the anxiety and the fear that the old regime feels every day. They're always trying to hang on to something, and you can't. You don't have to hang on to anything. Dip into your pockets, your tattered robes. There are jewels in there. You've always had them. And you have access to everything right now. So we're going to talk more about this. What does it take? When I presented the off-grid, and by the way, it's a free webinar if you're interested. When I presented that, I was shocked at well over 100 people within a couple hours were looking at this opportunity, and I don't know how many have signed up, but it's a lot that are serious and actually learning how to do this and working with this team of guys who did it themselves. They're generating $30,000 a month off of their property that they got an investor to invest in, that they live on, and they're living their dream. But they're doing it in a way that's a new way of living. It's not struggle and suffering out on a property where you can't eat, you have no food, you're broke, something happens, you can't get to a hospital. No, we're taking the best of the old world and infusing the beauty of the new world, where we use everything responsibly, medicine, technology, and then we go into our own power, that quantum field, where all things are possible. Those of you in my miracle circle, we've had miracles happen. People change jobs. I've had 4 people in the last couple months go to higher paying jobs. They quit their old ones. They would have never done that before. We're moving past the fear and saying, what's holding me back? Nothing. And the more of us that do that, the more we shift. And then when the new guard comes in, it's really not going to be a guard. It's a new way of life, of living. There could be new ideas and things happening that are going to astound you. You're going to see things accelerate with how we live. It's already happening with companies who are shifting over to non-plastic, healthier products, and you have to participate in that if you want to be in that world. So let go of the things that you think you needed that are really detrimental to your health and the planet. And when you shift over, you're going to feel like a different person. You're going to be cleaner. You're going to be clearer. Your mood's going to elevate, and you're going to realize how much we were in that world that was toxic in every way, shape, and form, including everything in your house that you spray on your counters, or to kill things that you don't like, including your weeds. We have been brainwashed and programmed, but we're totally individually responsible for shifting out of that, because it's your personal journey and nobody can do that for you. It's not about you. We are one. We're beautiful. We're perfect. We always have been. This is an illusion, but it's a real one. And we have to play it out And we're ready. We are so ready. Are you ready? The old guard. That's all I can say. Yeah, you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. But I want to share something with you. More and more of us, this whole program that I learned how to create an online business has gone into the next level. And they are showing us everything we could possibly do to earn money online, controlling our lives and contributing to our own families, friends, and the planet in very positive ways, and still earning. We're shifting the way we earn, we work, all of it. So we're using technology responsibly here. These are free videos if you're interested. We have hundreds of people that, it changed my life. 8 years ago I took this training, it changed my life. That's why I'm sitting here with you. No more Wall Street. All right, please subscribe. And I have these free videos, and you can see, you'll have a free webinar of off the grid living and how do you do it, and you don't have to struggle and suffer or not have water, or you can even have internet. My goal is to have a retreat, so I'm taking the courses, but this is a free webinar. And then of course I have masterclass how to manifest anything, 4 proven steps. And if you require training, I'm here. I have courses. I can help you deprogram. It's not easy to go it alone, and if you're doing the same things and you're having the same thoughts, you have to change the pattern. How do you do that? You have to have a disruptor. Sometimes it takes a teacher, and I'm here for you if you need me. A lot of free stuff here, including a free mobile app. Come on over. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Get excited. Blessings, my friend. Namaste.